Hi folks, so one of the worst European Cup finals has just been played and Arsenal lose on penalties. Arsenal were the team that tried to basically, for most of the game, have 11 players behind the ball and park the bus. I'm pleased PSG have won, only because of the fact, for goodness sake, Arsenal are this. Everyone keeps saying what a good job Arteta has done. No, he hasn't. He's turned Arsenal into this team that is very, very physical. Pretty good when it comes to corners and free kicks because of their physicality. But really, he's nullified Saka. He's nullified Eze. The creativity. Odegaard used to be an incredibly creative player, brilliant player. And yet he seemed to have nullified him as well. The reality is this season, Arsenal were going to win the league. Liverpool fell off a cliff. City, again, after last season, were... they showed a token effort that they could win it, maybe. But it was only really token. Yeah. And so, when I look at it, I'm thinking, the worst thing for European football would be for Arsenal to win it, because what you want teams to look at PSG the way they play, certainly the way they played against Bayern Munich. You want teams to watch that and say, we need to copy that. If we can play like that, that'd be brilliant. You don't want them to look at Arsenal and say, if we can play like that, if we can put 11 men behind the ball, sneak a goal, put 11 men behind the ball, kill the game, and that's good. For goodness sake. They used to bitch about players or teams parking the bus. It was always the worst teams that parked the bus because they couldn't do anything else. Yet, when Arsenal won the league, you got people praising the parking the bus. Because it won Arsenal the league. So it became the thing that only terrible teams do to, sorry, that's poor. Well, again, Arteta's still going to get an awful lot of praise for getting to the final. But again, put context in there. We know that when it came to the latter stages, we saw the draw. We knew that Arsenal had an incredibly easy bloody draw. We saw that. We saw the draw and we knew Arsenal would probably be in the final because of the draw. We didn't know who would be in the final in the other one because there were bloody good teams in the other one. But, So, again, let's add some context. Let's add some context towards the league and how Arsenal won the league rather than just the fact they won it. But for me, and they keep on about the fact, but Arsenal have played 63 games this season. And? I don't care less. 63 games, I say and. The reason why I say and is a very, very simple point. When I was 15, I was a plasterer's labourer to my Uncle Keith. And I had to go to work every day, even though after the first day I could barely bloody well move. And in all weathers, we had to work through it. Every day we had to get up at ridiculous o'clock. I think it was about 5:30 in the morning because I have to get picked up. So it's about 5:30 I had to get up and then get home until about 5. So it's a 12-hour day. And that was 5 to 6 days a week. I'm sorry, they ain't doing that. So, okay, they played 63 games. So what? You paid a bloody fortune to play football. Let's not use that bitching as something to make it look as if Arsenal have been amazing this season. No. Same as any other team. Man United, when they won the treble, they played more games than that. And look at how many players you're allowed to bring on now as subs. 5. When United won the treble, how many players could they bring on? 2? Right? So when players played, most of them had to play 90 minutes. Not in football now. When players play now in hot weather, they take a little drinky break, don't they? Halfway through each half. Right? Because they're weak and pathetic and they can't go for anything difficult. Again, you go back to when United won the treble. They never had that. You never had a little drinky break, did you? Halfway through the first half and halfway through the second. This is something new. Because players are weak and pathetic. Well, yeah, but let's not call them amazing. And yeah, is this Arsenal team good? They were good enough to win the league when no one else was going to challenge. Well, yeah. No one else was going to challenge this season. They were good enough to win the league this season. In other seasons, when you had Liverpool that were really good, or you had City that were really good, Arsenal went up to it. They couldn't quite do it. They're no better this season. It's just the other teams are worse. So there you go. They're good enough to win the league in the context that we face, or that we've had this season. But yeah. As in this final, this is one that I think most people would be delighted to forget. And that's even Paris Saint-Germain fans would be delighted to forget this parking the bus load of crap. Yeah, ugly. Let's hope in future we have more matches like Bayern versus PSG. That's what we want to see. Entertainment. We want fans to go there and be entertained. To leave the stadium going, that was fantastic. That was worth the money. I don't think most fans who watch this game, who went to the stadium, think that that game was worth the money. Even if they won, they wouldn't have thought that game was really worth the money. Not what they saw.